John, it's the end of the school year, and I would like you to try summer camp this summer. I know living without your parents can be a little scary. John's parents is prepping John to be independent so he can learn to live with others during the weeks. John's parents started letting John pick his clothes out on by himself. The next day, John learned that he had to take a shower and no longer enjoyed the tub baths he was used to. After a couple of weeks of taking a shower, John is almost ready for camp. For the next few days, John's parents taught him how to have good hygiene, such as brushing his teeth and putting his deodorant on. John's parents saw that John was able to live without their assistance. John's parents went to the computer and went to the summer camp they were interested in and signed up John for camp. John's parents were so excited to tell John what the camp had to offer. John's parents were explaining to John what the camp had to offer and what the attractions were. The attractions were pools, lakes, playgrounds, sports, competitions, rock climbing, and hiking. John's parents compared the calendar of the summer vacations and planned and found a week that would work for John to head to camp. It was this time for John to pack his bags for camp. John's parents got his packing list and helped him pack. John went to bed, and the next morning John was eager excited about headed to camp. John arrived at camp and checked in. John's parents helped him settle into his cabin that he would call home for the next week. John's parents told John that they would come back at the end of the week for John.
John meets his camp counselors at the first meeting. John was disappointed at first that the camp had rules just like at school. John went to change into his swimsuit to take a swim test. John failed his swim test and was sad. John said he was a good swimmer at home. Then John saw his counselor fail his swim test too, and he felt better. John enjoyed his snacks with his friends, and he started getting along with all the other campers. John has already made many friends and was so excited and was about to head to dinner. John was so thrilled they were having spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. John didn't pay attention and spilled his plate. John was really embarrassed. The camp staff was so nice, and John was able to get a new plate of food. John had tons of fun the next few days. He swam in the pool, canoed in the lake, played freeze tag on the playground, played football, kickball, and soccer with his friends. He climbed the rock wall, hiked, but there's one thing John loved most of all: s'mores. John loved the s'mores at the campfires. He got to eat as many s'mores as he wanted. It was the last night at camp. John has been having so much fun, he didn't even realize it had been 6 days already. John played with his friends all day. Then it was time to gather around the campfire for more s'mores and stories. Tonight, as John was eating his s'more, his camp counselor started telling a scary story. Right at the end of the story, another camp counselor jumped out of nowhere and scared everyone. After John realized it was just his counselor, he laughed. Next thing John knew, everyone was laughing with him. John's parents came and picked him up the next day. He waved goodbye to all his counselors and told his parents how he had so much fun and can't wait to go back next summer. We chose to write about summer camp just because, from both of our personal experiences, for me personally, I just always enjoyed summer camp. I just loved it and looked forward to it. It was the highlight of my summer. And both of us are sport and recreation management majors, so this was just kind of natural for us.
I chose this topic about John going to camp because I went to camp growing up, and the last 5 years I have worked in summer camps, and I believe summer camps has a chance to change children's lives for the betterment of children.